Good morning, students. Today we are going to see the topic is undue influence. This is meaning of undue influence. The meaning is if the person gets unfair persuasion over the other party is called as an undue influence. What is unfair persuasion means? We are dominating the other person through his superiority powers. Then it is called as an unfair persuasion. In this unfair persuasion, if the person gets unfair advantage, that is also called undue influence. The next one is definition under section 16, subsection 1. The undue influence is subsisting between the parties in the position to dominate the will of other person. Then that through the undue influence, they are getting unfair advantage over the other person. So in this definition, we are seeing the 3 points. The first point is the person is in a relation to exercise pressure, and the second one is the person who uses a superiority position to dominate the other person. It is the second point. And the third point, through the domination they are getting unfair advantage. That is the third point. So these are the 3 important points we are seen in the definition. The next is effect of undue influence. The effect of undue influence under the section 19A is if the person affected through undue influence, then the contract becomes voidable contract. Voidable contract means the affected person can enforce the contract. So in this example, advanced to section 19A, X is a money lender, advances rupees 100 to B, an agriculturist, and by undue influence induces B to execute a bond for rupees 200 with interest at the rate of 60% per month. So he only give 100 rupees, but he induces to take a bond with interest of 60%. The court set the bond aside, ordering B to repay the 100 rupees with interest. So he need not to take a bond with interest at the rate of 60%. The next is burden of proof. Under section 16(3) of the contract, the person must prove that he is not committing any undue influence. Who's the person who must prove that he is not committing undue influence? The person who having the power of dominating, that person must in a position to prove that he is not induced by undue influence. If it is proved, then it's not come under the undue influence. An example is A is a person applies to bank for a loan at the time of stringency in the money market. The banker also explain about the high rate of interest, but A accept the loan on those terms. So this is the ordinary course of business. In this is a banker not induced by undue influence. The next one is defenses to the doctrine of undue influence. In this, the person have an independent and disinterested advice. That means they can use as a defense to the doctrine of undue influence. So there is some points under the doctrine of undue influence is the person has an independent and disinterested advice, and then he should understand the nature of the transaction which is existed between the two parties. And the third one is you can remove all the undue influences, then you can affect your transaction, you can continue the contract. And then if the advice must not be an independent, it must be created before the transaction. Once the contract is created, we cannot do any undue influence. So before the transaction, we can do undue influence. Then you must be, if it is an independent, you can use as the doctrine of undue influence. Next one is presumption as to person deemed to be in a position to dominate the will of another. So the person who have the position to dominate the will of another, they have some real or apparent authority over the other person. For example, master and the servant and doctor and the patient. And the next one, he must stand in the fiduciary relations like the relations which are created in trust and confidence, that is called as the fiduciary relations. In this, we are going to explain through case law is in Alcott with Skinner case law. It's under the 1887. the occurred is joined a sisterhood. She is under the spiritual subordination of the defendant in some time. During such time, he transferred her properties on the name of sisterhood. About 6 years after left the sisterhood, he sued to recover the properties. So in this period, herself and the defendant is under the undue influence. He raised the case over the undue influence, but the court declared that the properties are gifted to by the sisterhood, is not under any undue influence. Next one is difference between coercion and undue influence. Coercion means the person one who threatening to commit any act or threatening to detain any property, it is called as in coercion. In undue influence, the person in a position to dominate the other person and get an unfair advantage, it is called as an undue influence. And second point is the coercion is mainly concentrated on the physical or the violent force. In this undue influence, they are only the focus on moral force or they are giving mental pressure. And the third point, in coercion, the party or the third party or the stranger to the contract can proceed the coercion, but undue influence, only the party which is related to the contract only can exercise undue influence. In the fourth point, there is an intention to cheat the other person, intention to cause any person is called as a coercion. In undue influence, they get the main motive is to get unfair advantage over the other person. It is called as an undue influence. And the last one is it involves a criminal act, but in under the undue influence, the no criminal act is involved. Thank you for watching this video.